very beginning.
Devil is a lie.
That's what Zay said. Zay, you said it at the
I was
very
like,
beginning.
are you recording?
You recording right now? The devil. Hey, look,
I was like, is it recording? I don't see the light. Oh my God.
I was
That's on
scared to
me.
say something.
That's on me. That was just a warm up. We had to just get the show open. We had to get everybody going.
What's good, YouTube? I'm Tony T.
King Davi.
Zay Chantel.
Marius Morrison.
And you are watching the best show on the internet. That's Debatable. We have two special guests.
All right, my name is Luke. I'm Zay's friend of a friend. You can find me on social media. My Instagram is @TheRealLukeB.
Oh, yo, so what up, man? I'm 2K. Y'all can find me everywhere on Talks with 2K or talkswith2k.com.
We're going to run it back because I messed up the first go round and didn't hit the record button, all right? So the first topic, don't believe the hype. Both Donda and CLB dropped this week. And my question is, did the two albums live up to the hype? And which one did you prefer?
All right, so to answer the question, no, I do not believe either album lived up to the hype. I expected more from both. Kanye hit, reached a higher threshold than Drake, in my opinion. Drake's album just has no feel to it for me. Like we said last go around, it was kind of spotty. I just took something long. It was kind of spotty. I couldn't vibe with it for real. Like he had like three good songs I liked, but the rest I can do without the rest of it.
And like I said, I don't like agreeing with Davi, but I do agree they did not live up to the hype, man. They did not. I couldn't groove with Drake, and I really thought I was going to. And I don't really know, like I'm not an artist, a music producer, none of that, so I don't really know, but I know what I could vibe to, but nah, Drake didn't do it for me, and I couldn't really get into Kanye album either, so I don't think either one lived up to their hype, so I'm kind of upset.
All right, so like I said last go around, I don't feel like they lived up to the hype. I was more of a Drake fan at the beginning, and then when I listened to Donda, it kind of made me a Kanye fan again. I feel like Drake, he was lacking luster. It just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. He's talking a lot of shit considering what came out.
Yeah, bro, I agree with them, man. It was coleslaw, like mid at best. It was just it wasn't what I expected, man. Kanye, he pushing like the Jesus narrative on us right now, and you got Drake. That was just he need better writers at this point in his career. It was just lackluster. It was coleslaw.
We do this every time when an album drops. We talk about it. We talk about how it doesn't live up to the hype without actually giving it time to actually be a good album. If you compare CLB to his previous albums, it doesn't have the same bangers or same feel like it previously did. But it's a different album. It's a brand new album. For Kanye, I really think that this album was better than the last one, so it's a big upgrade. But before the albums came out, no one said it's going to be their best work or body of work. So I think that it's a mid, but it did live up to the hype.
Both albums didn't exceed expectations or meet the hype. I believe Donda met the hype given everything that's been going on with Ye in the media, how trash the previous two albums were. I mean, however you feel about Jesus the King is how you feel, but Ye was like okay-ish, I guess. So I didn't expect much coming from Kanye, but Donda exceeded my expectations in that respect. CLB, it felt like he was going to, try and go somewhere else with it because he'd been on for over 10 years. That mark where this album should have been like his magnum opus. Like, look at the greats. You look at Ye, you look at Jay-Z and everybody at this point in their career, they dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the Black Album. They dropped their like magnum opus. It didn't happen with Drake.
You can clean your whole house in 2 hours listening to Donda. You put on CLB, you're not gonna make it out the bedroom before you change it. Like it's just you know what I'm saying? Like you can't do it. It's just like not. I can't get jiggy.
Yeah, I couldn't like really groove, like, cause I listened to Certified Lover Boy in my car. I was listening to it in my car, and like I said, I like TSU and a couple of other ones, but I could not get on the Too Sexy. Like I couldn't, and like I said before, we were talking about it. My friend asked if he sounded sick.
I have to agree with Davi. I mean, it's listening to Donda, it just flowed really, really well. Like the songs transitioned really well. And then whenever you listen to CLB, it was too spotty for me. Like I was going through too many different emotions. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. It didn't flow like a usual Drake album.
Yeah, the Yay was cool. And as far as a certified lover boy, I feel like Drake been bulletproof for so long that he ain't been able to grow with his criticism. So this is a product of that. This is the rooster coming home to hatch. Drake just been untouchable. He ain't had to elevate because the fans has had his back through everything. And the Yay, like I said, it was mid.
We have to take an accountability is that like we listened to Drake when he first came out, right? I think this new album was probably for the younger generation because I still see people posting on it like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. For me, like I said, it wasn't his best work, but as far as it lived to expectations, yeah, barely. I mean, kind of.
All right, boom. So as far as Drake with the CLB, my issue with CLB is there was so much hype surrounding this album leading up to it. It felt like we were going to get something different. However, this was just the third iteration, as I previously stated, of the same album. The first album being Views, then he did it again with Scorpion, then he did it again with CLB. It's the same album 3 times over. It's got a couple of hits on it. These hits aren't as big as his previous hits, but it's the same formula, the same product 3 times over. Like 2K said, he was bulletproof. Why change?
This Donda album is so good to me because it's the best he sounded since My Life with Pablo. You know what I'm saying? Like everything in between I wasn't really rocking with, but you know what I'm saying, this right here is fire.
Again, I said I am not a songwriter, producer, music artist, any of that. So I don't know the amount of work that goes into this, but I know what I can vibe to, and I could not get jiggy with it. I couldn't.
All right, so like I said previously, I went through the songs that I added to my rotation on Spotify. I had more songs from Donda than I did from CLB. I find that I like them more. And then, like I said, the Lauryn Hill, throwing that sample in there was just really, really good. I really enjoyed that.
Really, I feel like all of us are trying to pick between the better, little, or trash. If we're being so honest, and that's what it feel like. Both of them was trash, and we just need to admit it.
Congregation is gonna love that Donda album, man. It's gonna hit the church like Kurt Franklin with Hosanna, like.
Yeah, man. 2K, I don't know about trash, but Donda definitely was better than a lot of his previous. I say a lot. His most recent work. It's right there on par for me for my life of the life of Pablo. CLB is just the same album over again with a couple of hits.
Yeah, 2K mad disrespectful.
Yo, no, I'm a Kanye West stan, and I don't like how y'all talking about the life of Pablo. That was a classic.
I don't think it was a classic.
Classic. Ooh, I don't think it's no classic. It was good.
You definitely got to go listen to it right now, Dan.
Okay, what's your perspective on Yeezus?
Yeezus? Mm-hmm. Yeezus was definitely a classic. Now, the way I felt about Life of Pablo at first, that had to grow with me. I wasn't ready for the Yeezus album. Okay. And I wasn't like that for the Pablo neither until I look back at it. Maybe Donda will grow on me, but Jesus is King didn't even win me over.
Well, that's what Morrison said. Morrison said we do this. We just gotta give it some time and see which songs grow on us and which ones don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're not really trying to pick the better album. We just giving an opinion for right now until time.
Yeah, I mean, because your perspective always changed. It's albums that I thought was amazing when they dropped. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is incredible. And then like time went by, I'm like, yeah, it's all right. And the inverses happened. I thought albums was trash. I felt that way about Life of Pablo. I didn't like Life of Pablo until September. It came out February. I watched the listening party. I watched all that, right? I didn't mess with it until September, right? I saw him perform it. Like, it was different when you saw him perform the album, and then it gave it a little more light for me at least. But at the beginning, I didn't rock with it. Yeezus, I fucked with it off top. Like, I remember listening to it like, this kind of gonna be off for some people, but I messed with it. And then I realized if he just took the first track of Yeezus, which was like On Sight, and he threw it somewhere towards the end of the album, and he opened up the album with like maybe Blood on the Leaves, and then what was the next song he had? It was like Black Skinhead, New Slaves, and I Am a God. That would have been a hard like transition. That would have made the album a lot better. But because he opened up with this polarizing ass song, it fucked it up. But Davi, he had a good question on the last go round that I didn't record because I fucked up. So we're gonna go ahead and answer Davi's question again for the viewers. So Davi, go ahead.
So three of the big five artists in the industry right now have dropped an album. J. Cole, Ye, and Drake. How do you rank them? 1, 2, or 3? I rank them Donda, Cole, Drake.
I said Cole, Donda, Drake.
And I agree. Same thing. Cole, Donda, Drake.
I agree.
I'm going Donda, Cole, then Drake.
Donda, Cole, Drake. And the reason I say that is because, like Morrison said, we had to let the album off-season grow with us, right? Off-season grew about as much as it's gonna grow with me, and it's still sitting at number 2. You know what I mean? And
So 2K, so you think all-season trash too?
As far as Cole work go, yeah, bro. Like if you listening to the Cole, like Cole, I ain't like it.
it's his second worst album, in my opinion. Number 2. His worst album is For Your Eyes Only.
It seems like our legends going down ungracefully. I tell you that.
I think it's how the music industry set up right now. Because right now, back in the day, album sales, right? People cared about the album because in order to sell it, like to actually count as a sale, they had to buy the album. Now you don't have to sell a whole album. One track sale is 100 listens, 150 listens, right? 10 track sales counts as an album, right? So if I can get 150 listens 10 times over, that's 1,500 listens. I've already got one album sale, right? And guess what? That 1,500 songs or listens can be from one song, and it'll count as a whole album sale, right? Which is why you run into Drake, just like, let me throw as many hits on here as I can, right? And also they putting like 20 songs on an album because, all right, if everybody that's a fan of mine at least listen to every song one time, that's like double the album sales because one album sale is 10 track sales, right? If I put 20 on there, I just doubled up. So because of how the game's set up right now, we're not getting these albums like we used to get, where it was like, this is a piece right here. You see what I'm saying? At least that's just my opinion.
Here's my thing with Cole, and I had this argument yesterday. What people have to understand is with every artist and every album, they're at a different place in life. So with the all season, for me, how I internalize it is him challenging himself because he's at the pinnacle. And before he stops rapping, he wants to see how well and how great he can get, like lyrically and everything. So usually his albums are for the people. This album to me is for himself, for him to challenge himself to see if he gets better. So like I can't rock with it like I can with Born Sinner because I can't relate to it as much, but I do respect where he's going with his music and he continues to get better.
Can I argue with you on that? I like that because what you're saying is Cole is trying to master his craft for himself and let y'all in on what he's doing, right? Like I'm balling at this level. I'm trying to elevate my game at this level, and I want y'all to just see how I'm messing with it. My argument to that would be this. If we're gonna say he's one of the best ever, right? You gotta be playing in the league. So I'll make a comparison to basketball, right? My boy Johnny can probably ball out on MJ. Like beat him one-on-one, hands down, but he never made it to the league. He been working on his craft, but he never made it to the league. And making it to the league means connecting with the people, right? If you can make the greatest album in the world, if don't nobody really mess with it, was it really the greatest album, right? Is it as good as what you're trying to say it is, Cole? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Can I put some on that too?
Go ahead.
Because like what you were saying, if he made this album for himself, that's who he should have kept it for, himself. Like if we talking about basketball, nobody got the gym. The camera crew is not there when you practicing. Only when it's game time. And I felt like if that was J. Cole angle, he wanted to challenge himself and do it for himself. He should have left it there for himself because I don't think the fans rock with it too much.
But even if it was for himself, sometime or another he would have let it out and been like, okay, this is my art that I want to share with y'all. He's a rapper. Yeah, it was probably for himself to challenge himself and then say, hey, fans, what do y'all think about it? Keeping it to yourself not gonna tell you if you got better or worse. If it's that won't help you if you don't get somebody else's opinion on it.
Okay. I like
Okay.
that. That's like the comedians.
Yeah, I get that.
That's like how comedians do. They'll go to little clubs, tell their jokes. This ain't gonna work. Scratch that off.
Right.
Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Go ahead, Morrison.
I'm not gonna say if he got better or worse.
I was
So,
gonna say just for everybody, it's just about like for me, I'm glad he dropped it because you don't know how that can inspire somebody. Somebody might be doing a new profession,
Right.
or they might be like, okay, if J. Cole wants to do this for himself and he's getting better, he's still pushing himself. Why can't I? You know, he did basketball for like, a month or whatever. At what, 40 or 30, whatever, how old he is. For me, that's more motivation than like showing people, hey, no matter how old you are, no matter what you get, you can still get better. So it's just perspective. I think it was a good album. I really enjoyed it because I understood where he was coming from. I was like, okay, like I can't rock with it the same way I do his other albums, but personally, I still like it because I understand what you're doing.
Yeah, go ahead. Adam, my fault.
I feel like J. Cole tends to always take the angle of vulnerability. Like he wants you to see that he's a real person. He's gonna try different things. Like he's gonna do something, and if he fucks up, then oh well, like he's back to square one. Let me try something else. That didn't work, and then that kind of makes it more relatable for the listener to know, like, all right, well, he's trying this. Well, maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try that. Don't always do the same thing because anybody could be an industry plant and put out the same thing over and over and over. And kind of like what you said with the Drake album, it's the same formula for the past 3 albums. We just hearing the same thing, the same features. He throws whoever's the hottest rapper at the time on there, and then boom, you got a couple hits. We hear him on the radio over and over and over again, and then it's over with.
Okay.
I feel like if if Cole would have put those 2 LA Leaker freestyles on the album, it would have been an instant classic.
Thanks for watching this clip of That's Debatable. I'm Tony T. Be sure to give this video a like and comment your views down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you felt about the video. But if you really want to support the channel, give this video a like and watch more clips by selecting the video to the left and to the right of me here.